Hey everyone, it's Rachel here at Cozy Corner Crochet. Just thought I'd jump on here. I had a subscriber ask me about my stitch markers that I've been making with the letter beads, and she wanted to know what tutorial I followed. Well, I didn't really follow a tutorial, I just kind of did it on my own, so I thought, well, I would film a tutorial. But she also asked me, she said that she has arthritic fingers, and so she has trouble with the lobster claw clasps, which is what I made my original stitch markers with. This is the first one that I made, and it just has the letter bead on a head pin and the lobster claw clasp, and the letters represent the crochet hook size that you use. And I've also had some people say that they use numbers instead of letters because the numbers are pretty much universal. However, I didn't find any number beads. I didn't really look that hard, to be honest. I just looked at Walmart and all they had were the letters. So that's what I chose, but this is the original one that I made, and I thought, well, I could make those so much cuter if I put some beads on them or something like that. So after I made that one, then I made this one. And you can see it has two different color beads on it. And again, it's just strung on a head pin, and I have the lobster claw clasp here. But as my subscriber told me, you know, if you have arthritic fingers, sometimes the lobster claw clasps are not hard or not easy to maneuver, and sometimes I have trouble maneuvering them, and I don't have arthritic fingers. So I got to thinking about what we could use instead. Went on Pinterest and I found this idea where somebody had used a safety pin, and being that safety pins come in so many different sizes, I thought that's a great idea, not to mention the fact that safety pins are so much more cost effective than lobster claw clasps. You get a lot more in a package for a lot less. So I decided that I was going to try it. So this is what I came up with. I made an H one just a little bit ago, so that's the most popular hook size that I use. I use an H a lot, and I bought some turquoise beads and threw this together. So I wanted to show you how I did that. So to make these stitch markers, what you need are some letter beads, and these are the ones that I purchased at Walmart. I think the pack of these were $3 and something, and you get 300 beads in the pack. Now, the bad part is, there are some of the letters obviously that you're never going to use for this, so if you can find, you know, maybe a school that is doing their arts and craft projects or something that could use the different letters, or find another craft that you can do with them. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my leftover ones, but there are lots of the letters that I typically use in there, so haven't run across running out of any of them yet, so this was worth what I paid for it. I also have a safety pin, and I bought this box of safety pins. I want to say there's 50 in there, and I paid like $1 for them. And then I'm going to do an eye bead today. You will also need some head pins. Now this package has head pins and eye pins in it, and quite honestly I can't tell you how much I paid for this because I purchased it so long ago, I just don't remember. I actually purchased this for a different project. My daughter and I made beaded necklaces from marbles that we baked, and then the marbles crack and make a pretty design, so we did those, and we used these, well, we were going to use these head pins, but for some reason we didn't use them. But there are eye pins and head pins in there, and you could use either one. If you wanted to put a little charm at the end of the stitch marker, you could use an eye pin, and then it just has a little loop here, and you could hook a little charm right on the end of there and make a really cute little stitch marker. I didn't purchase any charms just because I wanted to see how this was going to work and if I wanted to make any more. So I have my eye bead, I have my safety pin, I have my head pin, and you can see the head pin is just, you know, it just has like a nail head on the end of it. And you're going to need some beads if you want to make it decorative. So I am going to use the turquoise beads again, and I'm just going to grab 2 out of here. They're all different. So I'm going to set that aside. And you also need a pair of needle nose pliers. I've had mine for quite a while, and I use them for a lot of things other than just crafts, so they are a little dirty and beat up, so excuse that. So the first thing you do is you take your head pin and you just string your bead on your head pin, and then I the next bead I take is the letter bead and string that on there, and the next bead then is another colorful bead, and then I take the safety pin and put it on the end, and then I kind of bend this around just with my fingers. And if you have arthritic fingers, you're probably going to need somebody to help you with this part of it, because it is difficult to do. Sometimes I can bend this almost just with my fingers, but most of the time I need the pliers to make it go around easily. So I just kind of bend it up like that, then I take my pliers and I grab a hold of the end and I just turn it around. This is really difficult to do in front of the camera. I have the camera between me and the stitch marker. So just turn most of it with my finger here. Yeah, and this one's not gonna be perfect just because it's difficult to do that in front of the camera, but you get the picture. So you just bend that around until it's tucked in there, or you can even just trim it off a little bit. So that's what it's going to look like. Let me just see if I can trim this. Okay, so off camera I was able to wrap that wire around there a little bit easier. But again, it's not perfect. I'm not a jewelry maker, but these serve the purpose for me. So that's an easy way to make a stitch marker with the letter on it, so that you know when you come back to a project which crochet hook you used, because I know that's a problem for everyone who has whips, is for me anyway. And then, you know, because it has the safety pin on the end of it, it's easy to maneuver. Just open your safety pin, stick it where you need it, and close it up. And then you can leave your project, and you know when you come back to it, oh, I used an eye hook for this project, so you can grab your eye hook and get busy. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I hope that you liked it. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, keep stitching and stay cozy. Thanks for watching. Bye.